Okay, awesome. Right, the new tune. What's the problem? I was in a good mood before everything started freezing on me, crashing on me, and stuff. Plugged in a MIDI keyboard, and then it ejected my hard drive. Ooh, crap. Oh dear. Oh dearie me. Oh dear. I've just. Oh my. I have a candle on, and I just put that cable right through the candle. Good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you are watching this is the time I am in now. For the second time, because as I will have shown you roughly what happened in the last video. To sum it up, I lost all my video. Didn't want to do it again right there and then. And I also melted a MIDI cable, which I've now thrown out. It was very melted. I've got a temporary one here so that we can hear synths. All that to look forward to in this version of How It Was Made, 5-minute crafts.
Please join me for the first time to hear how it sounds. And 1, 2, 3, 4.
Let's go. Crashes are going to be a reality because this session is big. Look at that. Big. Big boy. And running the screen recordings, it all adds up. We're going to take it as it comes. We're still going to have a good time. I've taken a risk. The candle is still there, the one that I melted my cable in. Hopefully, this time I'm not going to lay a cable across the path of fire. The main instrument is the piano. Those of you keen-eyed enough to notice, it is all MIDI piano. But what I did to make it sound more real, to make this piano sound more like that piano, because I like that piano. That one being my one in my hallway. So it sounds like this. Quite cool, that. That's basically it. Then we've got a little pad here. You could mistake it for a sampled vocal, but it's actually not. Then we get to some interesting stuff. I really went hard on the sound design on this song, and I really enjoyed it. Eventually it was worth it, so first of all, there's this. Arpeggiator. Cool sound, right? What I did was I took a little glissando like that, bounced it, and I made these kind of things. Then I also reversed it and reverbed it and stuff and made some stuff like this. And I messed about with it even more until I basically ended up with this little chopped up glitchy sampley thing. And that's pretty much it, and it makes that really cool sound, which versions of it go on through the entire song. This is really interesting. This is really cool. Right, so there's this little sample that you hear very faintly in the chorus of electric guitar. So that's actually a sample from later in the song, much later on. So if we go over to our electric guitar and we listen to this bit here. Can we just say for the record, I absolutely nailed where that was. That was like first time. But you heard it, right? I just sampled that and then put a bunch of effects on it. All there really is some delay, a big bandpass filter, more reverb, and it ended up sounding like this. And it's really cool in the intro. Down here we've got the thunder. You hear the thunder. Yes, it is real thunder. It was recorded it's from a video on my phone actually of a storm. And a lot of the samples are actually from that same video audio, the audio from that video. Because then we've got a rain sample here as well, which is actually in the intro, but is through a lot of the song. And we've also got these like crickets. And those are from the same thundery video as well. And then obviously that's going on. That's really cool. Then we've got some leaves, which you can barely hear. And that's pretty much the sound design that goes into just the intro. But a lot of that sound design is repeated, so I won't talk too much more about the sound design. those were some key sound design elements that I use throughout the song. I'll go over a few more when they crop up, but most of the main ideas are in the intro there. So let's get straight into it. Before we do, vocal sample. Leads very nicely into the actual vocals if I play them together. It works really well, and it's a very common trick. A lot of people use it. I use that same sample at loads of different points during the song. Let's talk about vocals. Now that we've got to vocals, why we're yawning. Why did that stop me yawning? I don't know why that worked. Quite a lot of processing on here. One thing I always do, every vocal, is I have a drive channel with a saturation, or even, this is my top tip, an amp sim to saturate it. But on this one, I just went with a saturation plugin. This is a free one called M Saturator. I bus the vocals to the saturation and then take out the low frequencies because I don't want it muddy or crunchy. I just want some bright high end, like slightly harsher high end that makes it cut through a little bit more. Other than that, my vocal processing is a reverb bus as well as a reverb on the channel, just to a little room reverb, some exciters for some harmonic content, pretty standard vocal EQ. I'll break down my vocal EQ very quickly. This low end is the key frequencies generally in my voice. That's the range that I'm singing. This is the first harmonic. Taking that out tends to unmuddy it. This up here, all this is just adding a bit of, this is kind of presence boost. This is kind of air. This is taking out more sibilances and just a bit of harshness and resonance. And then highs and lows you just don't really need. Highs and lows. One more thing happens in the vocals is I put loads of de-essers and stuff on it, clipped off the consonants to create this kind of effect. Huge reverb and all that, right? The reason I did that was I wanted longer tails on the vocals, but I didn't want to add more reverb to the original channel. It tends to make it sit further back in the mix. So I copied the vocal track, took out all the consonants, and then put a massive reverb on it. So it just sounded like, I don't know, it just worked. And I do that for the verses, but not in the choruses, because the choruses don't really need that long tail as much as the verses. A little pad here, which I'll just show you. Just a note, just the one. Then we get to this little interlude, cute little interlude. Oh, I should say as well, there's another wee sample in here, which is like some radio crackle. Interlude. Lovely strings. Hear that? The electric guitar's in there in the background, very quietly. Chorus. So what we've got in the chorus is, I'll run it down quickly. Let's do it. Let's flip it round. I'm going to tell you what's there, and then I'll let you hear it. So, what gets added in the chorus is, we've got some harmonies, first of all, double tracked so that they're this electric piano, which is providing the low end. If you're hearing the low end, it's that little boy there. Down here, we've got some samples. I'm going to show you these actually. We'll show you bits individually, and then you'll put it all together, and you'll hear the chorus, and it's, oh, that's, you'll hear it. So this is in the left ear, I think, is just videos from my phone that I like the sound, just people chatting. And in the left ear, did I say left? I meant right. The left ear is Neil deGrasse Tyson. A lot of fun. And then also we've got some TV noise in the background. You'll barely hear that, but you feel it. Content. And then we've got these little things. This is a tambourine, and I don't know what the other sample is. Don't know what that is. That's not the tambourine. This is the tambourine. And those are just going on. There's a little bit more percussion stuff in the chorus. Sounds like this. Oh, that chord. It's just so nice, isn't it?
Is there only one word for the love? 'Cause lately I've been finding that a single's not enough.
So, now second verse, there's a little interlude actually, which I'm quite excited to show you. It's got some nice piano chord switch up. Chord switch. 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 And then second verse, what happens in the second verse? We get some low end coming from this sub pad here, and also this is like a kind of cello. So together they sound like this. Sounds weird, doesn't in the mix, I promise you. We also get some birds, because that's fun. And there's also some percussion, nice stuff going on, and you can hear what that sounds like. Just little stuff like that that's going on. And then that's pretty much the second verse. I strip it back a little bit. Then we get to this
Want to decide. Eyes are only one.
Now you may have noticed it's a bit longer in between the end of that verse and the start of the chorus than the previous one. That is intentional. It's an intentional little pause, which also just, I don't know, I just really liked it. I wanted there to be an extra bar in there. It's a full bar. Create some anticipation for the chorus. And it just sounds good. This is my favorite bit, is this chorus, because of these vocal harmonies. Okay, so
Eyes are only one.
that's what they sound like. Add in the first set of harmonies. Natural harmonies, proper harmonies.
Eyes are only one word for love.
Same ones that are in the first chorus. But then add in these. What these are harmonies that are this main vocal track bounced down and then pitch shifted using pitch flex pitch to make nice harmonies, and it sounds so cool.
I'm choking up.
This last line especially.
'Cause when I need words, somehow I'm forced to choose from one.
Oh, I just love it. I love that low note in the so cool. It's kind of a shame because you can barely hear it in the. We've got some more pads, organ content. Adds some nice fatness, some saturation. I sidechained it to the kick that is going on further down that I'll show you in a second, so that it doesn't take up too much low end. Add in that tremolo electric. Loads of low end resonance, richness. I could listen to just that. Feel free to sample this video and listen to just that. Okay, electric guitar. This is where our main electric guitar stuff comes in. It's just electric guitar. That's what it is. With loads of reverb and delay and stuff, adding some atmosphere, a little fifth this time. More electric guitar, samples, more birds, more thunder, more crickets, more rain. This will be fun. Let's just listen to just textural stuff. All that is going on that you barely really hear. This final chorus.
Eyes are only one word for love. 'Cause lately I've been finding that a single's not enough to say what I mean without choking up.
And then there's a little instrumental and the reprise, and that's basically the song. So
Eyes are only one word. I've been hiding all this time, or at least I think I'm right.
another wee chord switch up to finish the song. Who saw that coming? I think I managed to cover most of what I did there without going into too much depth. Most of the time, realistically, I'm just listening to these, my ears. And, well, I guess I don't either. Listening with my ears. It's been a pleasure. See you in the next one. And you think, I want some of that on my track. Hit me up. Peace out. Thank you very much. Hope you're enjoying the song. Consider sharing this with someone who you might think would find it interesting. Consider leaving a like. Consider subscribing if you enjoy this kind of stuff.
Eyes are only one word for love. 'Cause a single's not enough to say what I mean without choking up. 'Cause when I need words somehow